It may have been my favorite story of the year. Canadian soccer, period. And all of that momentum, all of that passion, all of that pride seemed to come to a head with a run at the Olympic Games and eventually a gold medal. Years, dare I say, decades in the making. And none of it happens without my next guest, my keeper's crush, who recently announced her upcoming retirement just a couple of days after finishing runner-up for Women's Goalkeeper of the Year. She backstopped Canada gold in Tokyo, a two-time Olympic medalist, and despite sporting a pretty famous grin in the shootout, has battled through a lot to reach this pinnacle. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Stephanie Labbé to the show. Steph, thanks so much for doing this with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
So why now? After playing some of the best soccer of your life, why was now the right time, or specifically this summer, the right time to walk away?
Yeah, to be honest, it just felt right. I've obviously been talking about it for a couple of years now. And I think for me, it just kind of got to the point where I didn't feel that spark and that excitement when I stepped on the field. And I really feel truly that I've given everything to the sport. I've left everything on the field. My journey hasn't been easy, and through that, there's been a lot of challenges. But I really feel like I've left everything out there. I've given my heart and soul to soccer, and it feels like the right time to move on to what's next in my life.
I know a lot of people paint progress as a straight line, but it never is. I want to get to some of the challenges, but can you pick a moment or two that stick out? Have you had the time to reminisce and look back and say, man, there were some real good moments here along the way?
Yeah, I've been asked this question, and it's like right now I feel like because everything's so fresh, it's almost like my career is a blur right now. There's so many amazing things, and I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say that the gold medal overshadowed a lot of amazing moments in my career. But I do have to touch back upon for sure Rio being my first Olympic medal. I think about 2019, my national championship with the North Carolina Courage, being in my early 30s and getting my first professional championship. That was a really special moment. And I look back at my first cap and where the journey all started. It was I think it was an 8-0 win against Singapore. And I think I touched the ball 3 times, and 2 of those times I kicked it out of bounds. I was just so nervous. So there's been a lot of amazing memories throughout it, and I've met some incredible people and gained some lifelong friendships that I'll forever be grateful for.
Hey, listen, first cap, goalies don't usually get subbed in. That's a tough first cap to get when you're subbed in halfway through a game. Listen, I know beating Brazil in Rio had to be cool. The clean sheets against Marta and Brazil in Tokyo, then after all those years, the U.S. before winning gold in a shootout where you're center stage. What will you remember most about the knockout stage in Tokyo? Was it getting over that obstacle that lives down south of us in the U.S.? What sticks out?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the penalty shootout against Brazil, that whole game, I just felt unstoppable. I was just riding a high, and it was just one of those games where I felt like nothing was going to get past me. And then going into the shootout, I just felt so confident in the team and myself. I really felt and knew that we were going to get the job done. So I think the way that we won that game, the emotion of it, the commitment from the team, and then, going into the U.S. game and the semifinal being our kind of nemesis for the program. So to have our mindset of, we were so clear on just wanting to win the semifinal, going in to the Olympics, of course we all wanted to change the color, but what that really meant was win a semifinal, something we hadn't done before. And so going into that game, number one, it didn't matter who we were playing against. We had that goal in mind, but for it to be against the U.S., obviously there's a lot of history there. It was a big moment for the team and myself, and to be a part of that historic win was really incredible.
One of the things I love most about a penalty kick shootout is how mentally tough the game becomes. And anyone who says there's no such thing as clutch has never watched penalty kicks in a big game. Like, you were pulling out everything. I watched it back last night. Like, you were leaving the ball close to the net, making the Swedes in the gold medal game, you know, come get it at the top of the 6-yard box, and you were standing there. You had that big, huge grin. Like, where did all of that come from? Because for me, as a keeper in a, you know, D-League, and the guys I play against love when I say D-League, men's league, loves all of that. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, it was a mix. Some of it came from, you know, doing some prep studying of other goalkeepers, other shootouts, things that you can do to get in the minds of the attackers. You know, I watched the men's Euro from earlier in the summer, picked up some tips from there. But then honestly, like the smile, that one was like, that didn't come up on any of my tapes that I was watching. That was just like purely me enjoying the moment, being so incredibly present, and just really feeling like, you know, body language has such a huge thing. It sends a message to yourself, and it can give yourself a huge message, but it also sends a massive message to the people around you. And so the smile was like me genuinely just being happy and kind of telling myself, like, enjoy this moment. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. But also it was this, you know, I wanted to show everyone else how confident I was. I wanted to show my team that I was confident, that I had their backs. But also I wanted to show the Swedish team that I was confident, and that, you know, I was trying to kind of play that, you know, I knew exactly where they were going to shoot, and I was ready for it. So do anything that I could do to get in their head, make them second guess. The odds are completely against me in that situation. So anything I can do to sway those odds a little bit more in my favor and maybe make them second guess, I'm willing to do it.
Gold medal game, 6 shots, only 2 go in. Honestly, no BS. You made the hair on the back of my neck stand up, because as you're saying this, you're enjoying the moment. You understand the moment, and it's not often that athletes can get into that mindset, especially on a stage so big. And today is Bell Let's Talk Day. Normally, I'm a pretty competitive dude. Bell owns the competitor over at TSN, but today we're all on the same team. And it's not a perfect day. Who among us is perfect? But I know you've gone through some times to get to that moment. What does a day like this mean to you, to look back and see kind of, you know, the polar opposites that you've gone through, the highs and the lows?
Yeah, I think, you know, to so many people, the stigma around mental health is that mental health is weakness. And I think for me, it sends a huge message, not only to myself, that, you know, the challenges that I've been through, the depression, the anxiety, the panic attacks, like those, number one, they don't define who I am. They are a part of me and a big part of me. But the tools and resources I've gained from overcoming that and from working through that throughout the years, those are the tools and resources that have made me the resilient, confident goalkeeper that I am and person that I am. So it's not despite that, but it's because of that I am so strong, and that I am so confident in my own abilities, because I know I've been through some of the hardest times. And, you know, when I step on the field, and the game of soccer is, that's easy compared to, you know, some of the challenges that a lot of people go through off the field.
So well put. Is that why you shared that? Because it's not easy to share it either. Are you sharing this because you want others to see that you can still get to those highs?
For sure. I think, you know, number one, I'm sharing it because I want other people to know that they're not alone. So if somebody connects to my story or finds value in my story, I think that's incredibly powerful. And I know that I've been inspired by other athletes and other people speaking out and telling their stories. So if I can, you know, help just one person out there, then it makes it all worth it. But also, I think for me, as I said before, like the message that mental health doesn't mean mental weakness, that, you know, we can battle mental health and we can have these challenges, but we can also be incredibly brilliant at our jobs and be incredibly resilient at whatever we put our minds to and whatever comes our way in life. And I think that's kind of the message I want to show, that you can not only be real and authentic and share your challenges and share the dark times, but you can also be incredibly happy and joyful and be successful in whatever profession you do.
Awesome. I always say on this day, like, let's talk all 365 days of the year. So if you ever want to dig deeper on that, I would love to have that conversation with you. Before I let you go, though, I got to ask you what's next. Like, does a career in the game appeal to you? Do you want to spread your wings a little? Do you know what's next?
Oh, yeah, that's the big question right now. What's next is my focus on having an amazing send-off with the national team in April. I'm really looking forward to that, to sharing it with my teammates, with my family and friends. Until then, I want to take time to just enjoy my career, enjoy, coming up with all of the memories that I've had, telling stories about it. And I think after that is when I'll start to kind of land on what is next for me and where I want to go. I'm definitely passionate about the game and passionate about staying in sport, whether it's soccer or sport in general. I really want to continue to impact young boys and girls all across the country to not only stay in sport, but to continue to follow their passion and believe in themselves, because I know how powerful sport can be for, life lessons, lifelong friendships, learning just incredible things about yourself and gaining that self-confidence. And the more that I can do to continue to impact young kids across Canada to experience that themselves, the better.
I just got the Labbé jersey for the studio. It's hanging up, the #1. A little too small for me to wear to my beer league games. Put on a few LBs, but I'm going to get another one to rock. My keeper crush went from Fabien Barthez and Craig Forrest to Gigi Buffon and to you. Crazy that I've been able to talk to two of you, Forrest. This was my pleasure. Maybe we'll get together and discuss who my next keeper crush is, okay?
All right, sounds good. And maybe I'll be joining that beer league team. Maybe not as a goalkeeper. I'd like to, score some goals for a change. So maybe I'll come out and join you one time.
Never keeper when you retire. Always move on. It's only the idiots like me that stay in net. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate the conversation.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.